Hi friends, it's Laura. Welcome back to my channel. It's time for another What Sold This Week video. As usual, I'm going to start by showing you what I sold during my Whatnot show, which ended a little while ago. I need to wrap all this stuff up. After that, I'll show you what I sold on all of the other platforms. If you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Laura. I sell women's vintage clothing online on sites like Etsy, eBay, Depop, and Whatnot, which is a live auction selling platform. I come here to YouTube every single week. I show you my haul videos, I tell you what I sold, and on Mondays, we have a little reseller chat. Today is our What Sold video. I had another fantastic Whatnot show. Very excited about it. I'll give you some stats first, and then I'm going to complain about me, not about my Whatnot show. It was amazing today. I sold a total of 30 items, yay, for $578 before fees. After fees, that comes to $502.42. Fantastic. I had a total of 14 buyers, 8 of whom were first-time shoppers with me, which means that 6 were repeat buyers. So it was a really fun show. I did not go to sleep until 4:30 in the morning. My show starts at 10 in the morning. So as you can imagine, I really didn't get any sleep. I was up till 4:30 in the morning, but like just due to my own whatever. I had a decent head start on my drafts for Whatnot before yesterday. I went sourcing, I came home, I did my haul video for you, and then I start writing drafts and I have to take photos and load the photos up. And I just get into this state where I cannot make myself do things. And I feel like this is like if you're one of those people who, you have to like convince yourself for an hour to get up and go do your dishes. It's like that. Like you're like, okay, we got to do this thing, but you can't make yourself get up. It's like that kind of thing. And I have that a lot on Whatnot prep days. And yesterday was just particularly bad. I just literally sometimes was just sitting for an hour, just like zombieing. So that sucked. It's unnecessary and I don't like doing it, but I didn't know how, like, you know. But fantastic show. Somehow, miraculously, I've been feeling fine all day. I know that's not going to last. Tomorrow is going to be a bad crash out day because when you only get like 3 hours of sleep, you're going to not have a functional day at some point. So before I crash out, we're going to get all this stuff wrapped up. I'm very excited. Let's get into it. All right. So first up, I have a new to me buyer who purchased one item. I don't know what all the hand stuff is today. This is really cute. All right, so this is this adorable little 80s top, which I love. It's been in a few shows, and it finally sold today. It's so freaking cute. I love the shirt. This is not really going to be like a haul video. I'm not going to show you super detail on everything. I'm just going to kind of flash you up a little bit. This sold for $15. That's what the bidding started at. For all of these prices going forward, if I do not mention that the bidding started at a different price, you can assume that the sold price is where I started the bidding. But I did have a bunch of stuff that got bid up today, which was a really fun show. Some of it I was not surprised by. I was surprised by some other things that did not get bid up. It was an interesting show. And let's see, let's get this one all folded up, cute and purty. I forgot to prep my little bag for myself as usual. When am I going to start remembering? What do I got? Do I have... All right, I have a bag handy. I apologize. I'm going to have to step off screen for a second to grab it. And it's all like, it's such chaos here right now, I'm telling you. Here we go. Okay, this should be very good. During my show, I hesitate to even mention this because I don't want to like jinx anything at the moment, but Rizzo came and was hanging out with me and she was just super reactive. She was very overstimulated, like trying to grab at like all the different pieces of clothing. She bit me a whole bunch of times, like Rizzo biting, a whole bunch of times. And it just, she was like a little out of control. It was a little scary. Thankfully, right now, she's away. So, not away, like she's not here, So, all right, let's see. Next up, repeat buyer purchased this t-shirt, which I was glad about. This actually had a pre-bid on it. It sold for $10, which is what the bidding was starting at. But I've had this in a whole bunch of shows, and I've been surprised it hasn't sold earlier, but it sold today. So that was fantastic. Sold for $10. And let's get it folded up and all cute. So let's see. This could use a little lint roll. No, maybe we're okay. There we go. All righty. I got a lot of compliments on my little outfit today. which is, this is like sort of a house coat kind of thing, like a roby, bathrobe-y, pajama-y situation. And I do not plan on putting it on Whatnot. I was going to put it directly on Etsy, but you know what? I got so many compliments today. I feel like I need to start having a little bit more faith in my Whatnot shows. I mean, obviously I have a lot of faith in my shows, but a lot of times there are pieces that I don't necessarily want to put into the show because I don't feel like I have the audience to get them bid up to an acceptable amount, but that's been changing a little lately. So maybe I need to start taking some chances with some of my Whatnot inventory. You'll see that we had some pieces today that did really, really well. Next up is a new to me buyer who purchased 3 items. So first up is this 2-piece set, which I really love. This wild rose. So it's the dress, which is cute. The dress is fine. But then it's this jacket, which I love with this open back. It's so freaking cool. This set sold for $15. I should not have taken the jacket down yet. Hold on. You go back here for a moment, please. We're going to fold this dress up first. So I don't even know where to put my hangers. I had that jacket once before in a cream color, probably within the past 6 months or so. And it was so much fun to find it a second time. It's really cool. I have another, let me see, what do I have kind of exciting news-wise while I fold all this up? I am doing a Whatnot Raid Train February 28th, and that's an 80s and 90s themed raid train. I know I've spoken about it on here a little bit at least. I have to start doing all of my talking about it every single time so that I can promote it. So I've got that coming up February 28th, which is going to be really fun. I'm collecting some pieces for that currently. And on Saturday, January 31st, which is only 2 days from now, I am going to be helping my friend Amanda with Sweet Dahlia Vintage at the Manhattan Vintage Show. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Okay, never mind. Phew. Okay. Phew. What is, oh, I see what happened. Okay, there we go. Sorry. I thought the jacket had a problem, but it's okay. All right. Second item that this buyer purchased was this cute little sweater from the Gap. Look at how adorable that is with its little pointelle knit. Oh, look at the tag. Oop, cute old Gap tag. This also sold for $15. So Amanda with Sweet Dahlia Vintage, I'm going to be working for her for the day at the Manhattan Vintage Show. I've done it a few times and it's always fun. I like hanging out with Amanda. She has amazing pieces. She's like very 60s, 70s oriented, really cool pieces. She also gets a lot of older stuff as well, but that seems to be like the I don't know, the demographic that really sells well for her, especially at the Manhattan Vintage Show, at least. I can't speak to the rest of her business. Third item that this buyer purchased was this broomstick skirt, which I thought was so cute. I love this. And this also sold for $15. So yeah, so her pieces are fantastic. And then I also just like hanging out at the Manhattan Vintage Show and seeing other vintage sellers. It's fun. There's a lot of like people that I follow on Instagram and then I've met them in real life. So that's always pretty cool. And that's not the bag size I need. I need bigger. So that'll be fun. I'm not looking forward to going into Manhattan in this frigid weather, but it'll be fun. Hold on, let me see. Can I get this in this bag? I might need to go a little bit bigger. I think I'm just going to go in the bigger bag. I don't want to fight with bags. All right, let's see. So now that I just spoke about being up until 4:30 in the morning, I don't think I really have a whole lot to prep in advance for next week's Whatnot show, which is sad, but I'm going to try and, I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, obviously Saturday I have to go into Manhattan, so I won't be able to really do any sourcing there. I'm certainly not sourcing at the Manhattan Vintage Show. You do not source there for Whatnot, for sure. But I don't know. I'll have to figure something out. try and get myself prepped a little bit in advance. Next up is a new to me buyer who purchased one item. And it is this, yes, this skirt. This is reversible, which I thought was really cute. So it's like 2 different layers of a chiffon, Georgette rather. And you just flip it inside out. It's so cute. And this sold for $15. So yay. Get this all folded up. Really pretty. All right. That's too big. There we go. This is the bag I need. I'm getting started a little bit earlier today. Normally I kind of rest too long in between doing my show and then starting to wrap everything up. But today I tried to get a little bit ahead of it because I didn't want to be in like a last minute panic. So it is only 1:37. Normally, if I'm done with this part by 3, I'm very happy, but I should be done, I would think, by 2:30. We'll see. We'll see where we're at. All right, let's see. Next up is a new to me buyer who purchased one item, and it is this awesome like 60s era tapestry skirt. I just picked this up yesterday too. It's very cool. This sold for $15. Show you a quickie tag also because we've got a little union guy in there. So that's very cool. I got to fold it up skinny enough to get in the bag. There we go. I think that should be okay. Alrighty, let's see. So we had a few, I had, I think 12 items that had pre-bids on them today, and 2 of them had like multiple pre-bids. So I think that, you know, I had them starting at 15 and they were pre-bid up to like 32 and 26 or something like that, which I was like, that was pretty impressive because that's kind of impressive for me to get bid up that high during the show, let alone on a pre-bid. So that was really cool. All right, let's see. Next up, I have a new to me buyer who purchased 2 items. They're both really cool. First up is this houndstooth, this like micro houndstooth skirt, which I think is so pretty in a very like Ralph Lauren kind of elegant, quiet luxury kind of way. We've got these little buttons. It's a wool skirt. It's very pretty. I love this. This sold for $15. That's cool. Now let's fold this up the right way. Fold it the right way. Okay, there we go. Nice and neat. And then the second item that this buyer purchased is this dress. This is really cute. So this is by R&K Originals. It's a little 60s situation. This sold for $21, which is great because I bought this, I think I paid $10.49 for this, which, as you are aware if you watch me normally, that's a little high for me. And I started the bidding at $15. So not really an ideal situation as far as like the individual. If it had actually sold for $15 and I paid $10.50 for it, I'm not really making any money on that, you know. But it got bid up to $21, so that's nice. I didn't necessarily expect this to get bid up. I just kind of thought like, okay, you know, it's a cute dress. I like having it in the show aesthetically. And, you know, it's just kind of the type of dress I would normally start at $15. Let's just do it. But it got bid up to 15, so that's nice. It works out. I really need a lint roller, and I don't have one. I mean, I do. It's just not here. I'd have to go like get it, and I don't want to pause this video and go get it. Hopefully, I can get through the rest of this video without too much need. All right, let's see if we can get this in this bag. Such a cute little dress. It's very flight attendant-y, which, by the way, is a word I could not think of during the show. I was like, what do they call not the other word for stewardess that's non-steward? Flight attendant. My brain was just like the airline workers. I don't know. So here's the thing. Rizzo definitely made everyone aware during the show that I have a cat. So come on, man. So when there are cat hairs, I'm trying to not have there be, but people are not going to be super shocked, I don't think. We'll see. All right, there we go. Like that. Next up is a repeat buyer who purchased one item, and it's this really cool little 90s kind of like rayon hippie skirt. This is the one I sourced yesterday. I was like, oh, this kind of got like a Western vibe to it a little bit. The bidding started at 15 and it sold for 17. So it got bid up a teeny little bit, which was nice. Such a cute skirt. This is another one that I was like, oh, I kind of want to keep it. I want to keep everything. It is, I was going to say it is a problem, except I don't actually keep everything. So I guess it's not that big of a problem, but it's definitely always tempting. Let's see. Yay. All right. I got new 10 by 13 bags and they all have the little Ziploc on them, which is like, it's a love-hate thing for me. Like I feel like it's wasteful, but I do like that I can compress all the air out of everything. Makes shipping seem nicer. All right, next up is a repeat buyer, return buyer who purchased one item, and they got this H-Bar-C Western style shirt. It's very cute. Let's take a look at this because I did have to lint roll this yesterday. And this is just this kind of fabric where it was like attracting every freaking hair. And Skibbs was sitting next to me when I was doing all this stuff. And it was just such a mess. Yeah, I'm going to have to go get a lint roller. I'll have to like now pause and edit and whatever. We're back. We are back. You probably didn't even realize I was gone because I just paused it. But I have to talk to myself to function. And so I had to remind myself that we are back. This actually has my hair stuck in the wheel of the lint roller. There we go. Fresh, brandy new lint roller. Alrighty, let's see. Toss it. Do a little lint rolly rolls. Come here, please, shirt. Rizzo really hates the lint roller. I'm glad she's not here at the moment. Okay, that should be okay. Let's see. Alrighty. So, little Tater is doing really well. He still is, got a lot going on. He's still got an upper respiratory infection. He still has not really diarrhea at this point, but, a little funky still. We did change his food. My friend had ordered like a boatload of kitten food and toys and all sorts of stuff. And it just came the other day. And so he had been eating just like Friskies canned food, but the kitten food is Wellness brand. And Wellness can be like a little rich. And any change of food for any cat is, a little bit much. So sorry, glitching out. So, I think that maybe is a little bit much on his belly, but let's see. But he's doing okay. He's socializing pretty decently. When I go in to see him, he doesn't like get up and get excited to see me, but he does, like once I start petting him and playing with him and stuff, like he'll give me little face rubs and purrs. He's very cute. So I think we're coming a long way. My friend also sent a bunch of toys. I gave him one yesterday, which I really hadn't given him toys previously because he was just so like, oh, I don't even know if I told y'all that. So that H-Bar-C shirt, God help me. I started the bidding at 15. It sold for 21. So sorry about that. All right. So there's that. Next up is another new to me buyer who purchased one item, and they got this little white nightgown, which is just like a cute. I think I picked this up at like, there was a thing I went to that was marketed as an estate sale, but it was more like some estate sale people who had a bunch of inventory that they were liquidating. And so I got this there. It's a very simple little nightgown. I listed it for a $5 auction start, and that's what it sold at. That's fine. It's cool. A lot of times when I'm doing these bulk buys, there are definitely things that I'm just like, let's throw it in and see what they charge me. So there's stuff that I'll like throw in there that is, what I consider to be more basic or whatever, so, and it's nice because then I can sell it for $5 for a Whatnot show. Anyway, so little tater tot, he's doing well and he's super fun. I'll give him a few more toys as we go. He was too traumatized. He was too feral and too sick to really have toys. This does not want to stay folded. But now that he's feeling a little bit better, we'll start giving him a few more toys. So we gave him this little duck and he kind of immediately started playing with it. It was interesting because he was playing with it while I was petting him. And then other than that, I don't see him playing with it independently, although it is like at a different spot in the bathroom every time we go in. So I guess he must be. So that's cute. All right, let's see. Next up is a repeat buyer who purchased 4 items. So first is this dress, which I really love. This is like a cotton dress. It's got a fantastic print. I started the bidding at 15 on this, and that's what it sold for, which this is one of the pieces that kind of surprised me. I felt like it was so awesome. And I was kind of thinking it would get bid up, and it didn't, which is okay, obviously, but I was surprised. So that sold for 15 and definitely needs a lint roller. I'm glad I went and got this thing. So let's see. I do lint roll these before the show, but sometimes, depending on what's going on, because everything's hanging on a rack, and sometimes skibs will like walk in between the clothes or something, or, who knows. All right, let's see. Lint roller. I felt like I was super cohesive until I had to go get the lint roller, and then I started glitching out and don't know what I'm saying anymore. All right, let's see. All right, what is happening? This dress is so long. Okay. This is going to take me so freaking long. The dress is long and this fabric is like, no, I'm not giving you any of this. This is my lint. This is my lint. All right, let's see. Sorry, I'm not very talkative because I don't, I'm just focused on the lint rolling apparently. All right, let's see. All right, toss that again. Okay, let's see. We're getting there. We're almost done. Almost done. All right. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. This is so quiet. And as much as I would like to be like, I'm going to edit that out, will I? Probably not. Maybe. You never know. But I am not expecting that. Okay, I'm going to leave that folded like that. Let's see. Oh, second item that this buyer purchased is this dress, which is really fun. I've had this in a bunch of shows. I love this thing. It's like a 70s prom or maybe bridesmaids kind of dress. And it's been in and out and in and out. And it sold today for $20, which is what the bidding started at. But that's fantastic. Very happy about that. I think it's so cute. It was, it's another one of those that like when I got it, I kind of was super excited. I was like, oh, this is going to get, I thought it would sell immediately, and then it did not. And I was very surprised, but that's okay. It happens. We are definitely going to need the bigger bag today because this dress is very fluffy. All right, let's see what our pile looks like when we're done. Third item that this buyer purchased is this dress, which is so freaking cute. I sourced this yesterday. And this started the bidding at 15. It sold for 23, which is really nice. Here's the little tag. That was just in yesterday's haul. I already can't remember what I paid for this. I think it was like $6, something like that, $6.50 maybe. So that was really nice. Let's see. Get this together. So this store, yesterday when I went sourcing, I went to my regular place that I go to every single week, and then I went to a second store. The second store I used to go to very frequently, but it just, over time it got expensive and their selection was not as good. But I've gone a couple times recently, and they've had a few things, not tons, but they've had a few things. So I'm thinking maybe I'll start trying to go there a little bit more regularly just to kind of supplement my inventory. All right, the fourth thing that this buyer purchased was this 70s dress, which I love. It has this great like keyhole opening at the bust. This looks so good on a body. It's very similar to like the Olga nightgowns where it's like gathers everything in at the center and then it kind of like the flowy gathers make your figure kind of pop. It's really amazing. There's no tags in this. I started the bidding at 15 and it sold for 19. So let's see. Oh, this other dress did not. Yeah, there's another dress that I listed that looks cute on a hanger, but when I put it on my body, oh my God, it looks so good on. And I really thought that that would get bid up. And not only did it not get bid up, it didn't even sell. But, that happens. But it's just always such fun lessons for me. I don't even want to say lessons because sometimes it's like I couldn't have anticipated. It's just always these surprises of like, you never know what's going to sell, when it's going to sell, how much it's going to sell for when you're doing these auction things. I'm surprised all the time. And the one thing I know is that whatever my expectations are, generally, you can't, I don't want to say I can't trust my expectations, but generally, you can't like assume that that's how it's going to go. Like, you are always going to be surprised. All right, these will actually fit in a bag together. That's good. I just got to do it without messing the fold up too much. All right, here we go. There we go. Gorgeous. Okay. Perfection. There we go. Let's get these in their bag. Isn't this glamorous? Isn't this fun? Isn't this just so engaging? Okay. Next up is a repeat buyer who purchased one item. Why can't I? Oh, yeah. This thing. This is like a bathrobe that's been like hand knit or hand crocheted or whatever you call it. I don't know which one it is. I can't tell the difference. It's very cool. It's acrylic. It's nice and cozy. I did consider keeping this. Obviously, I did not keep it, but I did wear it one day. It is very warm. I just want a robe that like wraps rather than like this one you have to button all the way down. And I want to wake up in the morning and basically throw on like the equivalent of a blanket, but in a robe style, and, you know, not have to put the effort in. So this one didn't quite do the wrap job too well for me, but it was really nice and toasty when I was wearing it. Yes, I wore it. Sorry. The other thing about vintage clothing, it's like you don't really have to feel bad about wearing it because somebody's worn it before. You know, someone, unless you're getting dead stock, somebody wore it. Oh, anyway, what did this sell for, Laura? I don't know. $15. That's what I started the bidding at. So it's very cool. I'm glad it sold though. It's a very cool little robe. Can I fold this in a way that is acceptable? Kind of. Not too bad. It's just a little chunky. So it's going to have to go in a big bag because it's chunky. Chunky. There you go. Glad I have these big bags. I'm using a lot of them today. All right. Yes. Okay. This all squished down. All righty. Next up is, oh my gosh, I've been plowing through these babies. Where's my beverage? I got to drink a little seltzer because I'm dehydrated to the max. To the max. Oh, God, that's good. Okay. Next up, new to me buyer, purchased 4 items. 4. First up is it this one? Is this cute little like robe, peignoir, nightgown? It's not a nightgown because it only has these 3 buttons. Look how cute that is though. This sold for $6. I started the bidding at 5. It got bid up to 6. I started the bidding low because it actually has several little pinholes in it. I don't remember where I got this. I think I also got it at that like estate sale liquidation-y thing. I'm not positive, but I think that's where it came from. But when it had the little pinholes, I was like, okay, let me just throw it up for $5. So it's very cute and it's so soft. All right, that sold for 6. Second item this buyer purchased is this blouse, which I love. So when I got this, I kind of thought, I was very excited about it. I thought it would sell within 1 or 2 shows. It's been in many shows. It's number 69. But it sold today. And I believe that the person who bought it is the one who said this, but somebody said they have pants that match this. And I can't remember if it was the person who bought it or not, but I thought that was really cool. I would love to see that. And this sold for $15, which is what I started the bidding at. But I just thought it was cool. You know, I didn't necessarily think that, you know, it would like get bid up to high heaven, right? But I mean, I totally thought it would sell in like 1 or 2 shows. So it took 4 or 5, something like that. But I'm very happy that it sold. Yay. Next item that this buyer purchased is it this? Yes. Was this little 70s dress. So it's got this like black skirt and then this sheer floral lace top. And then there's the tag, which is adorable. So cute. This sold for 15, which is very cool. All right, let's see. Let's get this folded up all nice and neat. This little belt. So cute. Okay, let's see. Get everybody kept in line here. Yeah. Okay, there we go. All right, there's that. And then the final item that this buyer purchased, I love this dress, is this. This is another one of those like 70s disco-esque little flutter sleeves. It's like a sheer Georgette wrap style, kind of faux wrap because it's an elastic waist, but it's really cute. I started the bidding at 15 and this sold for 21. So that was very nice. So let's see, let's get this one folded up. This was also a new old stock piece, which is cute. Let's see. That. Doo-doo-doo. All right, everybody get folded up. And then actually, we don't even need a giant bag for this one. These are all pretty lightweight items. We'll get a mid-size bag. Medium. Put you all in here. Oh, there. All right, got that all squashed down. Oh, my back, killing me. Okay, next up is a new to me buyer who purchased one item. And this one was a surprise to me. This little bunny sweater, which I thought was really cute. I believe that a friend of mine sourced this. She was at like a church sale or something. They had a whole bunch of vintage sweaters. So she was just like sending me photos and saying, what about this? What about this? So I believe this was one of those. And, I thought it was cute. And the sweaters were like $2 each or something. And then I paid shipping also. So it's like, why not? I started the bidding at 15. It sold for 25, which I thought was nuts. Like, they're cute, right? Cute little rabbits. But I would not expect 25 on Whatnot. So that was really cool. I'm excited about that. Easter is coming up, so I'm sure that helped. When is it coming up? March or April? I don't even know what month it's in. I mean, I know it's always like different. It jumps around. Jumps around. You get it? Bunny rabbits, jumps around. But anyway, so that's cute. Maybe that's why it sold for that much. Or somebody just really likes bunny rabbits. That's possible too. It's adorable. I would potentially pay $25 on Whatnot for a cool cat sweater. So, all right, let's see. Got this all wrapped up in there. And then we have one more package with 8 items in it. And they are awesome. Both because the pieces are awesome and because the sales were awesome. This buyer is a friend of YouTube. Hi. And absolutely like created the housecoat wardrobe of our dreams over here. All right, so let's see. First up is this. Is this the first one? This little housecoat. This is like an 80s era with these flower applique sleeves. This is really adorable. Here is the tag, Smart Time, which I think is so cute. Here's a little close-up of the applique. This, I started the bidding at 15 on this. This sold for $56, which I definitely was unexpected for me. I obviously think it was cute. I was really excited to find it. I would not have guessed it as a $56 item, but like I said, you cannot always predict. There's definitely, I don't know if it's one of these. No, I guess it must have. Oh, yeah. There's another one of these in here that I totally, like, if you had to say between the two, which one would you guess that would be up to 56? It would have been the other one, and I'll show you. And I think that the other one sold for the starting bid at 15. But, that's the thing. You cannot predict this stuff a lot of the time. Okay, the second item that this buyer purchased, the thing I was just talking about, this one, it's another house coat. I think this is awesome. And the colors on this are great. And look at this tag. But this one, I started the bidding at 15. It sold 15. I totally thought this would get bid up. It did not, but that's okay. That's how this stuff goes sometimes. So a lot of the time, as we could tell. It was funny. I was talking to my friend the other day about having like stale inventory up on like, eBay and all those kind of things. And I have a very list it and forget it attitude, but not because it's a tactic. It's literally like I just, when I'm going to put effort in on those platforms, I'm going to put it in on the actual creating of new listings. I'm not messing around with like, delist, relist, or end and sell similar, or tweaking titles and all that kind of stuff. Like I've tried doing stuff like that in the past. I don't feel like it really benefits my sales. But also, I'd rather use that energy to create new listings because it's so hard to get myself to do any of that stuff in the first place. And right after we had that conversation, I realized like I had 3 items yesterday that I had to ship out. All 3 of them, which you'll see in the what sold video, whatever, the second half of this video, all 3 of them were pieces that I have had for very long time. Some of them a very long time, and some of them a really fucking long time. So it was great that I was shipping out 3 things that were all like older inventory for me. And like the Whatnot show is also just a reminder of like whatever my expectations are, they are very frequently incorrect. And it's not because of lack of education or, expertise or anything like that. It's just you can't really predict, especially in an auction type of show. But you're going to have the right buyer comes along at some point in time. It may take forever. You never really know what platform. I mean, there's a lot of educated guesses that you can make, but you're not always going to be correct. So, and also I feel like a lot of it, we get into these frantic modes of needing to like do something. And so, so you're like, let me go share my whole Poshmark closet. Let me go bump all my Depop listings. Let me go end and sell similar on my eBay stuff. Let me tweak all my Etsy keywords and things like that. And I don't feel like we need to put as much energy into that kind of stuff. I think that when you look at your shop as a whole, as long as you're active in your shop, are you putting up new listings? Obviously doing your shipping, answering messages, stuff like that. But I don't think that you need to mess around with older listings. Do I think it hurts your shop to do that? Not necessarily. I have seen some stuff that was specifically talking about Etsy, but I'm sure it applies to the other platforms as well. When you put a new listing up, it takes the algorithm of that platform a good, I feel like they've said like 60 days for Etsy specifically, and probably other platforms, to really kind of figure out where your listing should live in the algorithm, who's being targeted, who's responding to this, who are the keywords attracting. That's harder with vintage because vintage is a one and done listing. You put it up, the right person finds it and buys it, then that's it. So the algorithm doesn't need to really know where to put your listing in search as much. But I mean, that's just how it functions, right? There are other people who have like repeatable listings, and that's going to be different for them. But you got to give a little bit of time for your listing to kind of like settle into the algorithm, for the algorithm to figure out who it's showing your listing to. So I think that like 60 to 90 days is a good amount of time to kind of leave your listing alone, let the algorithm figure it out. And then after that, if it hasn't done anything, fuck around with it, right? I like using my Etsy listings expiration dates as the impetus to like decide if I want to tweak the listing, because they expire after 4 months, and it's just kind of a natural end point. It's like, okay, it ended. I have to renew it. Let me look at it and see if I want to change anything. Anyway, I'm gonna get off my soapbox now. This is the next item that this buyer purchased. It's this really cool little 80s kind of a sweatshirt. Again, it's like a thinner fabric, but like, look at this cute print. This is made by Gitano. Whoop. Please move. Gitano. And this sold for $18. I started the bidding at $15. I really love things like this. I have another sort of similar sweatshirty thing that's going to be in my 80s show. I have the 80s or 90s raid train that I'm doing on Whatnot on February 28th. So I've got a really cool sort of sweatshirty thing that's going to be in that. I feel like I had 2, but this might be the second one that I'm confusing it with. I have picked up a few of these lately. I have another one that did not sell still. I love finding sweatshirts like that, though. I don't want like plain old sweatshirts. I like having like, flower print or whatever, fun little sweatshirts, especially since I like live my life in them. All right, next up, let's see. Since this is the final buyer, I'm not going to go in order. We're going to mess around a little bit. I'm going to save the best for last, as I do. Next up is this scarf. This is a Vera scarf. I had another friend who she didn't source this for me. She was getting rid of her inventory that she was not going to list herself. And so I bought it from her. So again, it was kind of like a lot of things, like a lot of items. So I listed this for $5 on Whatnot, and it sold for $5. I think I had another Vera scarf that I listed a couple weeks ago, and that got bid up. So I was like, oh, let me stick this one in there today. It didn't get bid up. That's fine. And it sold, and it's going to a very lovely home. So I'm happy about that. Next up is this sweater. I think this is a men's sweater, but I don't know. Either way, it's cool. It's just a little black with, I think I got this at an estate sale as well. This sold for $5, which is what I had the item started at. I think I just started it at 5 because like it doesn't feel like it's a thing that goes with my shop. And I was not at a point where I wanted to try and mess around listing it on eBay yet. I have so many things backlogged for eBay and Etsy. So I just put it up for 5 and it sold. I think it's a really cute sweater. I did really like how it looked once I had it on. As I don't want to say as usual, but as frequently happens, when you put something on a body, it looks so drastically different. It looked really cute on. So anyway, all right, let's see. Next, this little item. This is like a 90s or Y2K mesh top by New York & Company. I thought this was so pretty. I've had this in and out of so many shows. I've been really surprised that it didn't sell because I think it's cool. It's got this asymmetric hem, which I love. I love that it's mesh, but normally this kind of mesh, like they tend to be sort of body hugging, like skin tight kind of tops. This one isn't. It's marked size small, so it kind of just like drapes really nicely over your figure, but it can stretch. So if you're a larger size and you want that more bodycon fit, this will work for that. I really thought this would have sold a long time ago and it hadn't, but it sold today for $15. And so I was very happy about that. I think it's really cute. I think that the issue is really that my Whatnot shows are just more 60s, 70s, you know, like, which sometimes makes it hard because I don't always find epic 60s and 70s stuff. Sometimes I find pretty awesome 90s Y2K stuff, but that's not what the people want. All right, so next, these two. All right, next I'll do this one. This is just a little purple floral kind of house dress. I got this from the plus size vintage estate sale that I went to where I got all that cool stuff. This is cotton. It's got a little metal zipper. I wasn't going to put any of those dresses into Whatnot just because I feel like, I can't remember now. I think that my per item price was somewhere around $6 or $7 actually. But you know, a lot of the pieces I just felt like I didn't want to risk putting them up in Whatnot and then not having them sell. This dress actually had some yellow spots on it. I did stain treat it and soak it and everything, and the spots lightened significantly, but they are still kind of there. There's like little ghosty spots. So I thought, okay, let me stick it up on Whatnot. It's a, you know, it's a larger size. It'll fit like an extra large to a 1X. So I thought that was great. This sold for $43. I had the bidding starting at 15. So that was pretty fantastic. Again, the dress itself, I definitely was not surprised by the bidding up, but because it had like the kind of discoloration a little bit, although to be fair, it's hard to see, you know? So I think that helped it out. And then the final item that this buyer purchased and the final item that I have to wrap up and the star of the show, which is not surprising to me. Let me just say this. This is the kind of piece that I would have expected to get bid up. I would have hoped that it got bid up, but I would have been scared that it would not have met my expectations. I was going to hold it off for Etsy, but I decided to stick it in the show, and I'm really glad that I did. And let's see. Where'd you go? Okay, here it is. This is this little sort of like country patchwork house coat kind of situation. It's got this really cute little apples and chickens faux patchwork print. Cotton. It's so adorable. I started the bidding at $15 on this and it sold for $68, which was amazing. This had a lot of pre-bids. I think this was the one that was at like $32 with pre-bids. Had I listed this on Etsy, I probably would have listed it around $79, which would have included the shipping. So the price that it sold for on Whatnot is actually quite close to what I would have wanted to get on Etsy. So that's really nice. I think this is such a fun piece. Part of me wanted to keep it, but orange and like, it's not my color scheme. I know I wouldn't wear it, but like I definitely thought about it. So I think that this buyer got such a fun little grouping of like house coats and house dresses. It's really adorable. They're probably a lot of my favorite pieces and I'm very excited, especially, I mean, I'm always excited when people get fun stuff, but especially because, you know, it's somebody who's been to a ton of my Whatnot shows, who, you know, watches and chit chats on YouTube, which I really appreciate. So it's just fun. It's like we're all in a little secret club and my secret club friend got all the really good stuff. So I was happy about that. Anyway, that's everything for the Whatnot show. I think I'll be able to get this all. I am going to get this all in this bag. Hold on. It's going to be a little bit of a tight squeeze, which I don't think you'll mind. Let's see. Yeah, it's not going to be too terrible. I wanted to showcase the little chicken dress, but it's not showcased. Sorry. That's okay. Everything's in there, which is nice. So there. And that's all of that. So now I just have to go print labels. It's 2:17. That's not too bad. I was hoping to be done with the packaging part by 2, but 2:17 is not bad. And let's see. Oh, squishing the air out of this. I'm going to have to do a little more work on that one. Anyway, I'm going to go print out all of my labels and get this up to Esther, my post office lady. You are going to hang tight because I'm going to show you what I sold on all of the other platforms. So I'll see you in a sec. All right, so we're going to see what I sold everywhere else. I am using a ring light today. My boyfriend picked it up at a thrift store. I'm going to say I'm not super impressed because like it's like, hey, I don't know if you guys noticed Laura's jowls, but let us highlight them for you with some delightful shadow. So probably won't be using this again. Also, it's a pain in the ass to set up, honestly. I have these other giant lights that are just on all the time. They're easier to just boop, boop, flick on. Anyway, let's see what I sold on the other platforms. Okay, what am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Okay, here we go. Got my little Etsy sale up. So first up is this vintage Pyrex bowl. It is the opal Pyrex. It's the 403 size, which is kind of like the third size of 4. So the Pyrex opals, just all white Pyrex, and they do not have any kind of marking on the bottom of the bowl. Like there's no Pyrex stamp. So I had this listed for $59 on Etsy, on everywhere, but it sold on Etsy. The buyer did not use any kind of coupon. I paid shipping on this. So shipping was $8.98. And what I thought was really interesting was that shipping was $8.98 for ground. I forget what priority was, like something stupid like $13 fucking dollars, of course. But both of them would have gotten there on the same day. Like the estimated delivery dates for both Ground Advantage and Priority were exactly the same. And I've been noticing this a lot recently because I purchased my shipping through Pirate Ship. And so it shows you all of your options. And I like, what the fuck? Like I know that they want us all to use Ground Advantage clearly. But my God. So what's the point of paying for priority? Do you know what I'm saying? And maybe that's different depending on where it's going. Maybe like wherever this was being shipped to, I don't know, but stupid. Anyway, so sold for $59. I paid $8.98 in shipping, so I made $50.02 on this. As usual, that does not count any Etsy fees. That does not count my cost of goods. So next up on Etsy is this adorable little grandma sweatshirt. So I've had this for a long time. That's kind of a theme of a lot of my sales for this past week or so. I'm selling a lot of stuff that I've had sitting around for ages. I originally had this listed, I think, just on Depop. So that means that it's been listed since prior to October 2023, which is when I got Vendu and started cross-posting things. So just a really cute little grandma applique. Look how cute this is. I know I'm showing you too many details, but it's adorable. This was listed for $39. Buyer used no, they did not. Buyer did not use any kind of coupon. So it sold for $39. Shipping on this was $7.28 for Ground Advantage. I think it was going further away. I can't remember. So I made $31.72 on this little cutie patootie. Next up, also on Etsy, 3 whole Etsy sales in a week. This thing I have had since so fucking long ago. I can't even tell you. I don't remember where. I know it was part of an estate sale or something. All this is a red, white, and blue like ribbon kind of trim. I honest to God don't remember where I got it. I just know that it would have been through an estate sale. Like I wouldn't have just bought this at a thrift store. It would have been part of a lot of other stuff that I got. I've had it for so long. It's been listed on Etsy for so long. That's the only place it's listed. I've never cross-posted it. As you can see, I had it listed for $24. The buyer used a 20% off coupon, so it sold for $19.20. I paid shipping of $5.52. So after that, I made $13.68, which, you know, maybe does that pay for the 847 years that I've had it. I don't know. Yeah, so, but good. Here's the thing. Lesson learned, again, list it and forget it can work. So it sat there for 700 years. It's old. And that thing, it certainly wasn't taking up a whole lot of space. So that's fine. All right, let's move along to eBay, where we continue the trend of selling things I've had for a long time. This I have not had for as long. I made sure I showed where the date was up here. I have had this listed on eBay since February of 2025, so just under a year. This was listed for $49. I sent out offers of 25% off. The buyer accepted the offer, so this sold for $36.75. Buyer paid shipping, so I made $36.75. And this is, again, look at the cute trim on this. I think this was from, I don't even remember. This might be from like my I was going to say my big panty video. Look, if you're there are two different types of people who follow this YouTube channel, maybe three. There's the people who are like vintage clothing lovers, right? And maybe you're a reseller, maybe you're not, but there's those people. But in 2021, I found a whole massive haul of Y2K era Victoria's Secret panties. And I did a video on it, just like a regular, like, hey guys, these sell for a lot of money kind of video. And it got a lot of attention that I didn't expect for it to get. So this might have been from that video, in which case I bought these panties in fucking 2021, but these might have been later. I don't remember. Anyway, sold for $49. No, they did not. I'm already distracted myself. $36.75 on these panties. Yay me. Okay, let's move it along. These were really cute though. Wait, where's the tag? That's what I was going to show you. Victoria's Secret Angels. 2005. I'll see if I can find the video for these. I was going to say I'll see and I'll link it. I won't, because you know what? I don't have time to do all that. It takes me so long to find stuff like that. I would love to find that for you, but I don't have time before I list this video today, so I'm so sorry. Feel free to search my page for Y2K Victoria's Secret panty videos, and maybe you'll see it. All right. Next is also on eBay, this velvet floral sort of sheath dress. These photos look really dark to me, but my computer lighting may also be really dark. This was listed just in November, so not all that long ago. I know I purchased this initially for Whatnot. It was in a few shows, didn't sell. I listed it on eBay for $49. The buyer sent me an offer for $35, which I accepted. So buyer paid shipping. I made $35. So yay me. All right, next is Depop, where I made 2 sales this week. What do you know? First up is this skirt. I know I've had this since at least October 2023, because again, it was uploaded into Vendu. So I've had it for at least that long, probably longer than that. I had it listed on Depop for $59. I think I had this cross-posted too. The buyer sent me an offer for $40, which I accepted. This was listed on Depop a while ago, so I do still end up paying Depop seller fees on this, because I never took it down and relisted it after Depop changed their fee policy. So I do still pay seller fees on this. I also pay shipping. So after shipping of $7.52, I made $32.48, but that's before Depop fees. So what are you gonna do? I think that Depop in its thing said that, my earnings are $34 and change, but that would have been before shipping. So after shipping, we're looking at like $26, $27. So it's really cute. Skirt. I like this skirt a lot. Let's see. I was so skinny when I took these photos. Let's see. I don't think this skirt had a tag. Oh, yes, it did. There. No, it didn't. This skirt did not. I found 2 very similar skirts. I found a blue one and then the red one. The red one had no tags, but the skirts were identical, so I put the tags for the blue one in. So anyway, here they are. So cute. All right, let's go to the next item. This is my final sale item. This is a purse that I sold on Depop. I cannot even tell you how long I've had this purse. The photo that you're looking at was a photo I retook. So at some point I had different photos up. I mean, this thing has been, look here, listed 3 years ago, and I took different photos. So prior to the 3 years ago when I put this up, there was a different listing for who knows how long. This purse is really cute though. I thought it was so much fun. And you can see I had it listed for $29. So that would have included shipping. Also, because this listing was so old, I paid Depop fees on this as well. Today, if I were listing this, I would not be listing it for $29, including shipping. But it's one of those things I just haven't bothered cross-posting. So it was listed for $29. The buyer sent me an offer of $23, which I accepted because I've had this purse for at least 3 years. Oh, I just made a sale, as you can see. So shipping was $5.89. So I made $17.11 before fees. God only knows what the cost of goods on this was because it was 742 years ago. This thing should have been paying me rent by now. But also, like, that's my own thing. Sorry, I just looked at my sale. It's a good one. It's a jumpsuit that I listed for a whole big bunch of money. Let's see. It's so much fun when we make a really good sale. Hold on. Let's see. Let me, that was the last thing I sold there. Yes, I listed this jumpsuit for $199 and the buyer did not use a coupon. I'm so excited. This is a really cool jumpsuit. You'll see this in next week's What Sold video though, but real-time sales. Oh, I'm so excited about that. Okay, anyway, that's everything that I sold. There are no Poshmark sales and there will not ever be any more Poshmark sales because I kicked Poshmark to my reseller curb. We'll talk about that probably on Monday though. So that's everything that I sold. I hope that you found this informative or that you just enjoy watching me lose track of what I'm talking about. And let me see. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this, and I will see you again soon for a little reseller chat video. Bye. Maybe bye. Where's my stop button? Oh my God. Bye.